Hey guys, good morning everybody. Today is Thursday, December 7th. It is 6:24 right now. Market's gonna open in about 6 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and set this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. It's got a couple things there to update and we should be good to go. All right, looks good. Looks good. Everything looks good here. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and set this real quick and set out the link to you guys here in the premium. All right, looks like we are good to go. So I'll get a few moments for people to make their way in. And we'll get started shortly. So I'll start off with market liquidity over here on the daily time frame. Go down to the 8 hour. Go down to the 4 hour. Go down to the 2 hour. Go down to the 1 hour. Going down to the 30-minute. Changes to red. Going down to the 15. Going down to the 10. And it looks like we are good to go. All right, so we got liquidity marked up over here. Closest level of liquidity is going to be down below over here at 36,033. Next level is going to be up here at 36,249. So we got liquidity over here on both sides. And we'll see what happens in market opens. All right, so other than that, let's go over here to our clean chart. Markup. $6:30 for market open. 8 o'clock. All right, guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Thursday, December 7th. It is 6:29 right now. Market's going to open in a few minutes, or in a minute, actually. Got pretty much everything here marked up. Let's go over to the 4 hours. So you can mark as some structure. Got structure right there. We got structure down here for the 4 hour. Everything's pretty much the same here on the 1 hour. Going back down to the 1 minute. And this is where we're currently at. So this is the 4 hour. Support level. All right, guys, market is about to open. Morning, Kevin. Morning, Nikki. Morning, Daniel. Morning, Kenny. Morning, Lisa. Morning, Maria. Eunice is asking if we have a bullish bias for today. I have no idea yet, but we'll see in a few. Let me go ahead and take a look. I mean, it seems like we do, right? Looking at retail sentiment, it's currently 78% short. Fundamentals over here are currently bullish. Yeah, I mean, it looks like we probably do have a bullish bias for today. Let me check the news real quick. So we had news at 5:30. News at 6 o'clock. And then news at 7 o'clock. So we got news coming up over here at 7 o'clock. If you guys are looking to take the original breakout, if this closes as a strong green candle, then this would be the breakout entry. So that candle's not too strong. So I wouldn't consider that the ideal breakout entry. Strong candle. We got open price right there. So it's not a really good breakout entry because wasn't a strong green candle. Let's go over here. We had news over here at 4:30, 5:30, 6 o'clock. So 4:30, 5:30, 6 o'clock. I'm going to mark it up real quick. News over here. 4:30 is kind of weird candle. 4:30, 5:30, 6 o'clock. So a lot of the news happened like way down here. Obviously, as you guys can see. Again, it's 4:30. It's that weird candle right here. 4:30. 5:30. And 6 o'clock. All right, so we got everything pretty much marked up right here, guys. There's no entries for us at the moment. There's no breakout yet because you needed a strong green candle. Strong green candle never came. Breakout V2, you need a buy signal or sell signal with 2 following red candles. Breakout V3, we're going to look for momentum and then following candle after that. So there's no entries right now at the moment. Yeah, like Vince said, price is overextended. It's super overextended right here, of course. Other than that, there's just nothing here yet. So we have a pending sell signal right here coming up. And obviously we'll kind of see what, we'll take a look and see where this ends up going. Hasn't closed yet. All right, it is pending. Sorry, guys, I'm checking out some stuff real quick. Well, we currently have a pending sell signal right here. If this closes as a strong sell signal, this technically can be the breakout V1, the original. I'm not going to take this, of course. We looked at our bias. Our bias is bullish for the most part, so I'm kind of wary on some sells, especially for the V1, because the V1 is kind of tricky. If it's a V3, possibly I'd take it, but for a V1, not so much. So this would be technically considered the V1 variation. The breakout V1. We have a possible breakout V3 coming up. Again, I don't know if I'd be willing to take this for maybe not the full entry, maybe for a small, like a partial 100 pips. But yeah, the full 300 is kind of a push because it's got to push through all these like red flags down here. So it's kind of tricky right here. But yeah, if you guys are looking to take this here, I'd probably go for maybe like 100 pips or so. You see if I can maybe get in for 100 pips. But I'll hold off for now. And I'll see how it comes back down. If it comes back down strong, I'll probably come back in for like a quick 100 pips. But right now, I'm gonna hold off because it is a little tricky. See if I get in here for 100 pips. Might be a little too late. Where's 100 at? Already hit. All right, got out. Full TP on that right there, guys. So I just went for the quick 100 pips, like I mentioned, not the full 300 because there's the red flags right here. So the reason why I went in for the 100 is because we can get out before the red flags right here. The 100 happened right here, right above it. I figured it'd be enough for me to get to that point. Again, it was just a little bit of a risky entry right there, so I didn't want to risk it too much. Just got in for the quick little move there. Kevin over here got in for a smaller move, actually. He got in and out for the high-low momentum scalp, which happened earlier above. So I took this right here for a partial. And the reason I did that was because of the red flags down here. And you can see exactly where price rejected directly off. It came down, bounced directly off the news price right here. So again, if you guys are not familiar with the red flags are pretty much the horizontal lines that go from left to right. It's just a risky area there for you to trade because of the possibility of manipulation that would happen. So this right here is technically the breakout V3. It's still running right now. The breakout V1 is running above it. So there's two trades running alongside of each other. There is the breakout V1, which is up here. The breakout V3, there's actually three entries running right now alongside each other. There's the original breakout. There's a breakout V2 that just closed right here, and the breakout V1, which is currently running. So all three breakouts are running alongside each other right now, right here. And they're all running into profit. So they're all running right there. These are all three breakouts: breakout V1, breakout V3, breakout V2. They're all going down super quick. What happened here was I waited for it to come back down. So it retraced up a little bit, and I said if it comes down strong, I'm going to enter it. It came down strong, came back for the retracement, filled my order, and then went straight to my TP. I only went for 100 pips because of this area right here down below. You can see it's still playing through, but it's a risky type of entry because of like how it's moving. So I'll go ahead and put this update over here real quick in my profits. There's 3 different entries there to possibly get in from. I got this for a partial. Partial TP. Breakout V3. Running alongside the breakout V1 and breakout V2. Just so we have it there for the notes. I'm gonna change this to 100. All right, so I only got it there for a partial, and all of them pretty much literally all of them hit full TP. So if you guys take any of the breakouts, breakout V1, breakout V2, breakout V3, every single entry right there hit TP. I'm gonna just add this here for our notes. So whenever you get, this pattern, we've noticed this for the past couple of days. When the breakouts all align with each other, they typically push all the way through. So I only caught it for a partial. I got it for about, let's see. I got it for 2,500, got some slippage on that, some pretty good slippage, and locked in some pretty good profit there. So I'm gonna go and post my profits real quick. There's no other entries here available yet. You can possibly look for a momentum counter scalp, which will be 2 green candles. So if you get 2 green candles, that'll be a possibility for a momentum counter scalp. I'm gonna post up my profits real quick so that you guys can see what I took there. And so we can stay transparent here that with the trades that we took. So we got everything over here. And let me post this up in the group. So I was looking at the chat, guys. I don't know who this person is. Commissary Ducko said that that basically we can fake our profits by opening a buy and sell order on the same instrument and only showing the one that showed up in profit. I mean, you can't really do that when I'm doing it live here, right? So I kind of just took a glance there and, thanks for Kip and whoever responded to this guy. I don't even know who this guy is or how he found our group, but basically was telling me that we could fake our results by opening a buy and sell. I guess I could have opened a buy and sell here, but my analysis here was for a sell, and I can still show you the win, even though I would have taken both trades, right? It just makes no sense. I don't know. I thought it was funny when I woke up this morning. So here's me being transparent as possible, where I told you it was a sell entry, and I took the trade with the screenshot. And so we took the trade here. I showed you what I took. There's no way for me to take both trades at once to show you only one of them because I'm doing this real time. And on top of that, I'm going to show you the profits that I locked for that specific trade, which was right here. I don't know, it just blows my mind. Here's my profits. So if I was taking trades in both directions, I could not show you the weekly profits because these wouldn't be up like this, right? These would be whatever. I just found it really unusual that someone would say something like that. Like, you can't really fake live trading. When you take the trade, you show the analysis, you show the trade, and then you show the profits right after. I don't know. I must have like, I must be a time traveler to be able to freeze time and do all of that. But I just found it really funny, guys. I don't know. I don't know how people are finding the group. If you guys referred this guy, please don't refer people like this to the group because I don't know. I can't deal with like nonsense like that. Anyways, back to the charts, guys. There's nothing here right now. There's technically a V. There's a momentum counter scalp right here that came up, but it came up with the buy signal. So technically, you're not supposed to take it if it comes up with the buy signal. You kind of want that momentum to push up, and then you want it to continue pushing up from there. So this here would not be an entry. There's no V3 continuation here because there's a buy signal, but no green candle after it. And then after, other than that, there's just nothing for us to take here right now. So other than that, we have nothing here at the moment. So currently right now, this is a clean chart. We don't have liquidity that's gotten hit yet. So the liquidity chart is still moving back and forth within the area. Right here, let me go and see if I can mark up some new structure. You got that right there. We got this right here. So here goes the support and resistance on the 1 minute chart. So this is the 1 minute, and I'll put the thing on here. So I'll just put 1 minute so that you guys know. Resistance level. And then over here, I'll put 1 minute support level. I'm just drawing up structure here so that you guys can see, where to maybe avoid trades. But we'll come back and take a look, as things continue to move along. But yeah, it looks like price is pretty much ranging between this area, but there is some decent volatility. So we could possibly see some entries here as price continues to move along. There's no confirmation of trend here, so we can't look for any high-low scalps at the moment. Looking over here on our main chart, so yeah, let's see. Yeah, exactly. Kip said it's easy to fake results and end up on the leaderboard multiple times with multiple members. Yeah, no, I mean Kip's like one of the clear examples here, right? Like for me, I don't really make a crazy amount of profit, but Kip's been on the leaderboard for TFF for like quite a minute. It's been there for a while. Kenny said MT4 is frozen. I saw that it was frozen for a second when I was in the position. So it happened earlier. Other than that, let's see if I can get anything over here. So Eunice was asking if there was a V1 variation. There was a V1 variation right here, and I would have taken it if it wasn't at the red flags. So there was like red flags right here. And I think you also mentioned that, Eunice. So there was a V1 variation that did set up right here, double body rejection with a pending buy signal. And yeah, I personally would have taken it if it wasn't at the red flags, but it was right at it right there. So it'd just be a little too risky. I mean, it's close enough where you can maybe cash it for a quick move, but for me, it's a little too close. So because it's touching it. So I wouldn't take it myself. But yeah, there was a V1 variation that set up right there. I'm not sure if Vince caught it or anybody else. Yeah, no, definitely camo. Yeah, there's a lot of red flags right there. Lamal said MT4 froze for 3 minutes, three bars missing. Yeah, there's also a V1 here for a sell too, that Rashid identified, but it's right at the red flag. So I'm not really looking to take anything right here. These red flags have proved to be very important over the past couple of days. It's a trade that Camo took yesterday. Unfortunately, he took it and then it was in the red flags. Sometimes it'll play through. Like for example, right here, this one played through, and I think this one played through too. But there's going to be some times where you're just not going to get lucky, and it's not going to play through. So for me personally, I just avoid trades when they come around the red flags. So yeah, I would just avoid any trades here, guys. I mean, if you really want to take a trade, feel free. You guys already know the strategy, so you guys already know what to look for. But for the most part, I would be careful because there's just no need to force anything. It was like something that Allison mentioned or a couple other people in the group mentioned. There's going to be like hundreds of entries that come up throughout the day. The real key is identifying what's quality and what's not. These are not quality to me because they're right at the red flags. And I would just look for it to push away, from the top right here, because you'll still have space to catch the trade, when it comes time, or even when it comes down below, you'll have space down here as well. So we have news coming up over here at 7 o'clock. So 7 and 7:30, we have news coming up. I'm going to go and mark that up over here. We got 7 o'clock and we got 7:30 right here. We got 7 o'clock. And we got 7:30 right here. So back to what I was discussing earlier, here are my profits for the day. I didn't really get to cover them. So my profits for the day so far, I locked in 507 off my funded engineer, locked in 2010 on my FTMO, 2,520 on my FTMO number 2, 2,520 on my FTMO number 3, 397 on my funded engineer number 2, 510 on my personal account, 1,263 on my TFF, and 1,263 on my second TFF. So those are all my profits for the day and my profits for the week. As you guys can see, we've had a pretty great week so far. I mean, it's pretty good for NFP. NFP caused a lot of volatility in the market, allowing us, the ability to take a lot of these trades that we typically don't. So it's been pretty decent for us here. Yeah, other than that, so yeah, like a lot of people are mentioning here, MT4 is freezing. So just be careful with your entries. Kip mentioned, the freezing MT4 is also a red flag, also shuts down CC for the whole day. Yeah, and I agree with you too. William said he can't get MT5 going. We're starting everything back in a few minutes. So today's actually the 7th. If you guys remembered yesterday, I mentioned to you guys that, Rashida kind of gave us this warning a couple weeks back that MT4 was going to be suspending licenses for all of the unregulated brokers. It shouldn't affect FTMO because FTMO is not a broker. It's a funding company. They have their own servers. So a lot of these companies are getting like kind of knocked off MT4. Hero FX got knocked off, so I pretty much took all my money out from them. And I think that's kind of what's going on with servers right now. A lot of different brokers are starting to get kicked off, and it's kind of messing with the platform. So just keep that in mind, guys. Just if you guys are using an unregulated personal broker, I think the funding companies are fine because they have their own servers, but brokers in general, like I was using Hero FX, they 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 sent it like an urgent message to everybody, and they're just saying that you needed to possibly, or you had to either transfer to like a new platform, or so initially yesterday I took my money out, put it in my wallet, and then today or yesterday I just ended up withdrawing all of it. I'm probably gonna go back to like Awanda or forex.com and I'll trade directly here on TradingView for like a different type of strategy. But for my personal account that I currently have right now on here, this is my IC market with the hedge. So still using them because I think IC is regulated wherever it's located because they seem fine. I mean, the trades are still executing, so there's nothing wrong with it. Other than that, that might be the reason why MC4 is kind of acting up right now. Okay, gosh, yeah. Maria said IC markets is okay. Okay, so that's fine. I have IC markets with my personal right now. I'm probably gonna stop using it because that's the hedge account. But yeah, just a heads up. Anyways, we have a sell signal here that's pending. It's not closing. So you guys can see right here, we've had a sell signal come up for like the past 5 candles here, right? And it hasn't closed. That's usually a sign to avoid it. That's something that we've started to notice a lot in the past. So like on Monday, I think we had a pretty good market movement from like 6:30 to 7. And then from like 7 to 8, we had like a pending sell signal that just never closed, right? It was a pending signal for a sell or a buy. I don't remember what color it was, but it it just kept going sideways. So yeah, I mean, I'm probably gonna stay off personal brokers for MT4 for a while. It's gonna be a little bit of an issue though, because if MT4 starts having these issues, I might have to shift over to something like Apex, right, or Tradeovate, because my copier is all for like MT4 and MT5 accounts. I'm pretty sure they're gonna get it sorted out. Um, Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're going to get it sorted out. They always do. If you guys remember last year, MC4 got taken off the iPhone iOS market and it's back. It's going to come back. Like I'm pretty sure they're going to sort it out. There's so much money involved with MC4 accounts and MC4 platforms that they're going to fix it. It's not something that's going to withstand too long. So just, something to keep in mind. Daniel, so can you copy trades to Apex and Top Step at the same time? I'm not sure. I have no idea if that's the case. I know you can copy from TradingView to Apex. So like you can take your trades here on TradingView, like take buys and sells or whatever, and then it copies to all your Apex accounts. I know you can do that, but I'm not sure if you can copy it over to Top Step. Because if you can do that, I mean, I don't see why it wouldn't. Because if they're all Tradeovate accounts, I'm pretty sure they can all copy. But we'll see. Yeah, Maddie said there's a way to do it. So if you want to get in touch with Maddie, I know Maddie and Andrew are both kind of working, like they're looking at as much info as possible, and Sisuk as well. So if you guys want to talk about that stuff, copiers for Tradeovate and Apex, those are probably the guys to speak with. Gotcha. Yeah, Kip said he hasn't looked into the new copier, but the old one allowed Ninja to copy across all futures firms. Nice. That's cool. Yeah, Kip showed me this bridge program. I didn't really get around to it because I need to go buy a PC so I could trade Ninja Trader. I haven't bought one yet. But if that's the case, I might just go buy a PC somewhere, a little gaming PC for just trading, or a gaming laptop. I just hate that you can't use Mac because I use Mac for everything, but it's all good. Anyways, you can see where price is currently at, guys. It's still in between the sessions right here, the red flags. There's no entries available. Plus, price just keeps sitting around this area here. You can see the pivots are not really fanning out. So there's not really much of a direction of trend. Price just, did you guys hear that? My MC4 just disconnected. Okay. Yeah, so my MC4 is disconnecting, guys, and reconnecting. That's probably a sign to chill out for a little bit. Because the last thing you want to do is enter a trade and then your MC4 disconnects, right? And you can't get out of the trade. So just keep that in mind. Yeah, MC4 is acting a little funky today. Hoping they fix it. Barack said this thing is collecting entries. Just to spike down or what? I know, right? It's kind of it's going back and forth right here. It's just collecting entries on both sides until it chooses its breakout direction. So looking over here at the news for today, it's low impact news. It's not even high impact news at 7 o'clock. So I don't think it's really going to be very heavy. But yeah, it's basically just churning right now. I consider this churning. Prices just keeps going back and forth before it decides to break out, in one direction or the other. There's a lot of news prices over here, as you guys can see, the pink lines down here. So price might be correcting back to these news prices from earlier this morning. So the news from this morning was, so the first one was negative. Everything else was positive. So everything was supposed to go up. But yeah, we might get a correction down as price continues to move along. Rashida said the selfie, there was a sell V1, but she didn't take it. Yeah, I wouldn't take it either, Rashida. It's in that same area that we were just talking about. So there's another V1 variation that's set up right here. I don't think it'd be a valid V1, but it'd be a V1 pattern. So, some people like to take it regardless of the bias. And this would be it right here. It's a double body rejection, but it was right at the sessions and news price. So I wouldn't have taken it there either. Yeah, exactly. Maria said, besides the pivots are so tight. Yeah, and I agree with you too. They're super tight. They're not really moving directional. It looks like they're attempting to shift to the downside, but they're not there yet. As you guys can see, the sell signal that we just talked about, it's been going on and off for like the past maybe 20 minutes now. So this sell signal has been coming up since 6:44. So it's been a while. And again, right there, it's failed to close. So I would just sit tight, wait for news to pass over here. Once news passes, we can start looking for any possible opportunities there. Looking over here at our team profits for the day, we've got Cam over here with a total profit of 2,070, all wins here. We've got Barack, total profit of 2,301. Nice work, guys, both of you guys, Cam and Barack, nice profits. And last, we got Kenny over here with a total profit of 3,060 for the day, all wins. So nice work across the board, guys, for all of you guys. Other than that, let's see. Kip said if you refresh sentiment, there's a bigger drop in longs for the daily change. Market makers will push up at some point to collect the short retailers. Yeah, I agree. So let's see. Let's take a look real quick. Let's refresh the sentiment real quick. Sentiment's currently at 78% short, as you can see over here, like Kip mentioned. Yeah, there's been like 22% longs that have shifted. So a bunch of retail traders have changed to buy position in one day, pretty much. So I do think price will swing back up to pretty much collect all of those sells, just like Kip mentioned. This is one key thing to look at too, guys, to see how the market is changing by the day. So right now it's currently at 78% short. You can see from yesterday till today, it changed by 22%. So a bunch of shorts, basically buyers switch to the sell side. So if they switch to the sell side, they're going to swing the price up to stop everybody out. They can't win forever. So I think that's a key thing to look at, to focus on the correction back to the upside that should happen eventually. But we'll see. I mean, it looks like most of the correction already happened. So like price kind of came down over here, Kip. I'm kind of curious to see when is it documented, right? Because I could see like from yesterday, it came down super heavily and the correction basically happened already right here on open, actually. This big bullish push, it pretty much wiped out all the sells. So yeah, I guess that's something that I could maybe take a look at to see when it actually shifts. I'm assuming it shifts at the new day, which is I think 2 p.m. my time, when the market shifts from day to day. But I'll take a look. So later today, I'll probably refresh this at like 2 o'clock and I'll see if this here changes. All right, we got news over here in about a minute. William say he can't get his FTMO quick trade manager to load. It's just a red wireframe. Oh, that's weird, William. You're on MT5, right? I haven't I wasn't even able to get it working on MT5, so I only have it on MT4. Yeah, Kip said there weren't really any short positions, but they dropped a lot of long positions, so they stopped out the longs. But since it's still 78% short overall, there are a lot of people who are holding those short positions. Yeah, and I agree with you too, Kip. There was a big change where people dropped them, but the sell side has been pretty heavy ever since. So I can see that happening too. All right, we're right here on the news candle, guys. We're currently on the news candle right here. And take this off. So I would not take this V3 here. If you guys are looking to take the V3, I'd probably not take it. The news is positive. I know there's a breakout V3 continuation possibly setting up here. I personally wouldn't take it because this is the news candle. I mean, if you guys want to take it, feel free. But it's like pretty tricky right here. It doesn't even look like it's going to close as a V3. Yeah, it's not looking like it. It's got 10 seconds left on this candle. If it closes red, it'll be a V3 continuation. But it's not looking like it here. All right, so no V3 continuation here. We're starting to get a bearish trend with regard to the pivots. The trend meter down below is also red. Yeah, Maddie said he wants a drop in a V1. That'd be ideal. Let's take a look over here at the fundamentals. The fundamentals are currently flat right now. They're currently up 2 points, which is nothing. They're straight neutral. Looking over here at the fundamentals, or sorry, the retail sentiment, it's still at 78% short. Taking a look over here at the technicals for the day. Let's refresh this. So looking over here, it seems like everything's kind of laggy today, even trading view. Okay. Why is that even up? All right, so looking over here on the short term, we have the 1 minute, which is bearish. We have the 5 minute, which is neutral. The 10 minute, which is also neutral. The 30 minute over here, which is bearish, or no, sorry, it's neutral. 1 hour, which is neutral, and the 4 hour, which is bullish neutral. So we have a very mixed bias for today. There's not really much of a bias now. Eunice, earlier we said we had a bit of a bullish bias, but now it's pretty mixed. Because the technicals over here are pretty much mixed and the fundamentals are flat. The only thing we really have is retail sentiment. So we don't really have much of a bias today, guys. So if you guys are taking V1 variations, I would be careful. I mean, technically you can take V1 variations in both directions at this point. If there's no bias, then you can technically take them in both directions, right? But of course you want to look for a buy because the retail sentiment is 78% short. So, I mean, you can take trades in either direction, but just be cognizant that you're going to be taking something risky because you don't really have much of a bias right now. Yeah, Maria said 25 minutes of consolidation, waiting for tomorrow's NFP. Yeah, I think that's probably the case right here, guys. I think a lot of people are kind of just stagnant. They're just waiting for the NFP to come up tomorrow because that's where the real moves are going to happen. Yeah, Rashida said she noticed a lag pre-market. Yeah, I started to notice that too right now when I refresh my my trading view. I know it's not my internet. So it's just the market in general. Kip said, I just can't believe the lack of volatility given the news and the movement earlier this week. 10-minute daily just printed, but I don't like it. Probably gonna go so I don't do something stupid. Yeah, no, so Kip was mentioning that, you know, the volatility is super slow today compared to the rest of the week. There's a 10-minute that just printed for him as well that he looked at. Here, let's take a look. So YM 10-minute. Yeah, so there's a sell signal that just came up over here on the 10-minute time frame. And there goes my MC4. It kind of just disconnected again, guys. Yeah, I don't know if you guys are hearing that in the background, but MC4 keeps disconnecting and reconnecting. It's probably a sign to take it easy and be careful here. There's a V1 variation pattern setting up right here for a buy, but it's right at news price. So this might be a little tricky if anybody's looking to take it. But if you are looking to take it, I mean, I probably wouldn't really recommend it. It's going to push up to the next level up there. Yeah, it's going to get to this next red flag area right there. So there goes the V1 pattern that I was just mentioning, guys. I mean, I personally wouldn't have taken it, but it looks like it's going to play through. It's just actually, I mean, it's a good V1 right here. It's just, it was at a red flag. Yeah. So there goes a V1 right there. As I mentioned, if you guys are looking to take these V1s, there's a possibility for it to hit if it's like before the red flag, which is like right here. And that's pretty much what happened. I wouldn't be surprised if it kind of fakes out right here and then maybe comes back down. But yeah, it was a bit of a tricky V1 variation because I wasn't sure how this candle here was going to close. It looked like it was so big and it's probably going to push up higher. But yeah, this right here would be the V1 variation. It did hit full TP right there for anybody who decided to take it. I didn't take it. It's not going to count as an entry. I didn't think it was going to play out as smooth as it did. And then again, right here, Maria also confirmed that there's a high-low momentum scalp that's currently pending right here as well. Again, it's at the red flag, so it's a bit tricky. But another entry right here. This is more tricky. I wouldn't take this one because this one's actually at the, it's like actually at the red flags right there. So like what I was mentioning, let's see, Rashida said, wasn't it a V3 also? Yeah, so it would be a V1 variation and also a V3 because it was an opposite candle. So basically you have a low with a red candle, it was opposite candle going upwards. So it would be a V1 and a V3 variation together. This right here would be a high-low momentum scalp, but again, it's right at these red flags, so I wouldn't take the trade. You can see right here, it's getting highly manipulated directly at the news price and right at the sessions right here as well. So I would just avoid any trades that touch this area. The V1 variation was fine because it wasn't touching it, and it wasn't going to touch it for the TP, but right here, this obviously would be, and you can see exactly what's happening right here. It's getting highly manipulated directly off those two lines right there. So it looks like price is in a highly manipulated area. That's kind of what I see here. One thing that I'm kind of wary about is that my MT4 keeps disconnecting. So I don't know if I'll be looking to take any more entries for today. I'll look for some entries. If I see something really good, then maybe I'll take it. But the fact that my MT4 keeps disconnecting, it's disconnected about 2 or 3 times already so far during this live session. I don't really want to risk it, right? It's just too risky for me to end up in a position like that. So, and it's 707 right now, and you can see that price is just going sideways. There's not really much direction. Let's go over here to the clean chart. Let me see if I can mark up structure here again. So basically fake outs. And so if I take everything off here, you can see that this is the actual, like it's pretty much been ranging for like the past 20 minutes or so. Like Maria said, past 25 minutes ranging, not really worth taking any trades here. You know, and I'm really surprised. Well, not really surprised, but I'm really, it's good to see that Maria here is like really using a lot of logic here to like not take trades, because you know Maria is one of the people who has problems with like revenge trading, emotional trading, FOMO trading. And you know, we talked about it recently. That's really what trading is, guys. Because I give you guys all the tools here to look for entries. You know, you have a lot of opportunities with these V1 variations and high-low momentum scalps that are coming up. But you know, a couple of the key things here is like if you could see that it's at a red flag, you probably want to avoid it. And also you can see over here as well that price is going sideways. You probably want to avoid it because you don't want to trade in a market like this that's going back and forth. You want to trade in a market that's going to the upside or that's going to the downside, right? It doesn't matter which direction, but you want it to actually be moving. So yeah, it's just a tricky area. So we got the 1 minute. Yeah, it's in a clear range right here, obviously. Yeah, Maddie said my bet that B3 if it closes green and above the red flags. Yeah, that would have been fine. If that was the case, Maddie, I probably would have taken that as well. There's a V3 here that's kind of pending as well. So there's a pending sell signal and a possibility of it to break below. The only problem is that, again, there's more red flags here. So if you guys remembered from earlier this morning, I kind of drew over here. I said price can probably come down and retest these news prices from this morning, right? Price is finally coming down. Or let's see. So we started from up here. And I said price might come down to this level, then maybe this level, then maybe this level. And you can see again right here where price is pretty much, it's just bouncing off the red flags. So again, right here, it bounced directly off the sessions. Up here, it bounced directly off the sessions. And it's just going back and forth between this area here. And I'm kind of glad that this happens pretty often because then you guys can see how clear it is, you know, why these red flags are important to us. Because I always try to put logic behind why we avoid trades. You know, some people will just say, oh, I don't want to take a trade here for whatever reason. But I'm giving you guys like the direct logic. Like I'm not taking trades here because this is the New York low. And you can see where price is directly rejecting off the New York low. And then up here, price is rejecting directly off the news and the Asia high. And that's exactly what's happening. Because it helps you visualize things. You know, if you have a clean chart with nothing on it, like say, for example, you just have like a 1 minute chart here, and you don't have any of my indicators. Not that my indicators are required, but you know, my indicators do help a lot with identifying things because you can't really see much here if you're just looking at a clean chart. You look at my chart over here and you're like, okay, there's structure here that I should avoid. And then if you look at my clean chart over here with the markups, you can see that there's an obvious range. So just keep that in mind, guys. You know, everything I do here is for a reason. There's logic behind everything that's done on the chart. There's logic behind each indicator. They're not just there for show. They're there for actual reason. But again, there's no entries here available. We sort of have a high-low scalp V2 that's setting up right here. The only problem is that it's not, I mean, it's in this area that's not really a good area to be trading in. So we do have a possible, there's a high-low scalp that came up right here, but it was right at the red flag. We do have a high-low scalp V2 that's possibly setting up right here if price does come back down. But you can see that again, price is pulling back into this range. Let's go back to our clean chart. You can see how price faked out down here. It's pretty much just doing fake outs. Price faked out above right here to make people think it was going to climb. Then it came back into the range. Price faked out down here, make people think it's going to drop. Came back into the range. Did the same thing down here, fake out, and then right back into the range here. So yeah, I just want to be a little careful. I think the main thing to look out for is to see if price actually breaks out of this range. So I probably wouldn't take the initial break right here, but if it comes up, retraces and continues up higher, then in that case, possibly. Yeah, Kip missed it. The counter right there. Yeah, it would have been solid too, Kip. You know, those counter entries, they work throughout the day. Obviously, the strategy is meant for like only the first opportunity that comes up, but those counter entries do come up. So Kip over here mentioned there's a counter entry that came up. There's a sell signal, 2 green candles, and you could have taken that for a quick buy right there, right for a quick 100 pips. Again, though, the problem with that is that it's so close to the sessions right there that I probably would have been a little wary because if the candle closes here a little bit higher, you're kind of going to get caught in that area there. Gotcha. Yeah. So Kip said the counter with the pending momentum is the confluence he likes. Yeah. I like it too. No, I think it's good. I think it's pretty solid. Now that I'm looking at it, Kip is right. I mean, when it comes up, it's pretty solid. So It happened right here. There's a buy signal, 2 red candles. That was the first momentum counter scalp, played through. It was at the red flags, but it played through. And again, right here, sell signal with 2 green candles, and it played through too. So I think the breakout V3 continuation, there can probably be a momentum counter scalp continuation as well. If you guys want to do that, I mean, it's not necessary, but again, it's something that Kip identified. If it works for Kip, I'm pretty sure it'll work for everybody else. I would for sure make sure that you're doing it during a time where there's volatility though. So right now the volatility is decent, but price is ranging. Let's go back to this clean chart over here again. It pretty much did what we were anticipating. It's back into the range, and it just keeps going back and forth within this area. Yeah, so as we continue to wait for something here, so there's a possible moment as a breakout V3 continuation setting up right here, but it's like right at the red flag, so I'm not going to take it. I'll follow it for you guys here, and I'll mark it up for you guys. I'm just going to give you guys a heads up. It is risky because it's currently at the sessions right here at the news price, and this can be another fake out for it to come back down. But if you guys want to take it, it is going to be an entry for a breakout V3 continuation. If you guys are not familiar with what I'm talking about, I do recommend you guys review the mentoring session from yesterday, because we did cover a lot of stuff, including this. So got this pushing up right here. I'm not going to take this trade, guys. I'll follow it for you guys, but I'm not going to take it. Yeah, the candle's a little too big, so I might have to retrace back down, but I will follow it for you guys here. So I'm not in this position. It's currently running in profit. This is a breakout V3 continuation. Again, I'm not in this position, guys, just a heads up. I think it's too risky because it was at the sessions, and the candle was quite big, so it might be due for retracement. We're following it. Volatility kind of died down a little bit. Yeah, Maddie said we're getting random candles that push back up. I mean, if we start to get a direction, then that'll be great. But I think right now it's just a little too risky with what we got going on right now. Full TP right there. So if you guys took that as a breakout V3 continuation, full TP for you guys. I didn't take the trade, so it's not going to count as, one of the official entries. So as you guys can see here, I'll mark up entries for you guys, and I'll tell you guys when entries are coming up. But if they're too risky, I'm not going to take them, for me personally. There's just too many factors here that would throw me off and kind of get me scared about the position. But the position right there played out pretty nice, and it went straight to full TP right there. Yeah, Camel skipped it too, which is fine. There's no need to force anything, guys. So like I mentioned before, there's a bunch of entries that came up over here. There's a bunch of entries that came up over here. There's not just going to be one entry for the day. There's going to be like 10 or 20 entries that come up. Your job is to figure out what's quality and what's not, right? None of these entries over here seem quality to me because they're all in a risky area. So until I see like a really quality entry, I'm probably not going to take it. So yeah, exactly. Maddie said we got a whole month and a whole year next year to make a ton of profits. And he's trying to find the entry with the highest probability. Yeah, and I agree with you, Maddie. So a quality entry would be something that would come up pretty smooth, with not too many fake outs, and it's away from the red flags. That's going to be pretty much quality in our perspective. So just keep that in mind, guys. That's typically what we're looking for. We're just looking for an entry that's pretty much out in the open and not near any red flags, because the red flags is typically where you're going to see a lot of bounces happen and fake outs. So looking over here, we have some more team profits, and look at Felix over here. Congrats to Felix. So Felix just rejoined the group recently. I think Felix joined the group like last week or like less than 2 weeks ago, and he just passed his FTMO. So congrats to Felix over here. He's been killing it, super on point, super consistent and very disciplined. So you can see Felix over here. Here is his profits for the day. He locked in 1,933, all wins right there. and he passed his challenge. So big congrats to Felix over here. You know, we get people who pass their challenges pretty much every single day. We had Kenneth, he just passed his what's it called? He passed his top step. He's on his third account now. We had Felix here just passed this. We had a couple other people pass a bunch of Apex accounts. So, you know, big congrats to everybody here. I think like every week we have at least like one person who passes one of their challenges or their verifications or gets funded. So it's good to see, you know, it's just proof of concept here that what we're doing works. I'm not the only one that's doing well. There's a lot of people here in the group that are doing well. And that's my main goal. My main goal is here to make sure that you guys are profitable and you guys stay profitable. I can't control your guys' trading, so I'll do my best to try to steer you guys away from bad trades. But it's really up to you to execute those trades and, you know, pull out when necessary. So, all right, other than that, let's see. We have Rashida over here with a total profit of 1,024 on our Top Step account. Nice work, Rashida. Great work on that first account right there. And then on our MT4 account, total profit of 1,236, all wins here. Nice work, Rashida. We've got Barack here, total profit of 6,469, all wins here. We've got Felix's profits, 1,900. We've got Eunice, total profit of 232. Eunice is funded with, I believe, Top Step. So nice work right there, Eunice. We have Jonathan here, total profit of 1,110 for the day, all wins there. We've got Rashida's earlier profits, 451. Second account, 616. We've got Cam's earlier profits, or sorry, this is Cam's profits right now, total profit of 2,000. So great work, guys, so far. And we'll continue to follow along for any possible entries here. The volatility is starting to die down a bit. As you can see, the time right now is currently 7:21. As I've mentioned earlier this week, guys, typically around 7:30, I tend to stop looking for entries. I'll still be on this live session and identify entries that come up, but I personally stop looking for entries around 7:30 because that's when the volatility starts to die down. As you can see over here, we had a spike of volatility just real quick. And as we get closer to 7:30, price is starting to go sideways again around this area, which is fine. I mean, that's normal, right? That's more normal market conditions. You can see the ATR down here is currently 14.6. If this ATR goes down to like say 13, which it looks like it's going to happen because these candles are so small, it's just another sign that price is going back into a range or a consolidation. If it goes up higher from like 15 to 16, then you might see a continuation higher and higher. Target price point here for price to reach is going to be opening price, that blue line. So if price does decide to continue climbing, it's probably going to try to reach this blue line up there. That's likely going to be the area for it to hit back to open. Yeah, exactly. Rashida said we need the sell signal close and come up and close it before a buy momentum. Yeah, that'd be pretty solid. I mean, that's kind of what I want too, Rashida. I want price to kind of pull back a little bit. Like I would like a sell signal to come up and then maybe like what Kip was saying, you know, a momentum counter scalp continuation, basically 2 green candles, or then again, a buy signal with a green candle. I think those are good confluences to look at because these momentum indicators pretty much give you the direction of price. So I would like a sell signal to come up, probably a big sell signal, and then followed by maybe 2 green candles, and you can probably ride that up to open. Or you can get a sell signal, then a buy signal, and then another green candle, and that can probably ride up to open. But yeah, target price point is probably going to be opening price right here. If price does decide to continue climbing from where it's currently at. Let's see if there's any more structure here. No other structure at the moment. If this here establishes, I'll mark this up as a new structure. And then if that becomes the case, then we might get a range between this area right here. So we have more news coming up right here at 7:30. It's low impact. We got gas stock change, not really too much of anything. But that's pretty much what's coming up here right now. Randy's asking if this is a momentum pullback scalp. The ATR is too low right now, Randy, so I don't think so. ATR is currently 14. It's got to be 15 for it to be a momentum pullback scalp. Let's see. Yeah, and the trend meter is also not green. Yeah, it's just a tricky area because the volatility is so low right now. Now it's back down to 13. You can see the volatility starting to die down quite a bit. All right, Kip. Yeah, Kip said he's off to the clinic. All right, I'll see you back here tomorrow, Kip. Have a rest of your day. Yeah, he said suck day. Today does kind of suck. I mean, the open was fine. We had a pretty nice push on open right here. And I was hoping the volatility would continue, but then it just started going sideways right here for like about 30 minutes, pushed up again right here. Now it's going sideways again right here for probably another 30 minutes till we get close to market close. My cutoff for entries is around 7:30 right here. I only cut it off because I started noticing that around 7:30 is usually where you get a lot of fake out entries. It's like where a lot of people tend to FOMO and a lot of bad entries start coming up. So I'll still look for entries, guys. Don't worry about that. I'm going to give you guys a heads up that I'm probably not going to take any more entries as we get closer to 7:30. And you guys can see the ATR is getting really low. So the volatility is starting to die down. Yeah, exactly. Rashida said the sell signal is so close. We currently have one right here. So if the sell signal closes, it's got 30 seconds left on the candle. If it closes, you can look for the correction. At that point, you can look for like 2 green candles, basically what Kip was looking for, and that can show you possible direction in that area. So there's actually a momentum counter scalp that came up right here too. So there's a buy signal, 2 red candles. You could have taken this for a sell. I think that's what Kip was looking for, which would have happened right there. And it looks like it already would have hit your TP right there. So, that's actually a really good strategy. I think the momentum counter scalp continuation is actually pretty good because it kind of gives you a head start for the fake out, where fake out or a continuation in the other direction. All right, so we got a sell signal right here. Again, if you get 2 green candles here, this might be a setup for like what Kip is typically looking for, which is the momentum counter scalp, but it just kind of happens all throughout the day, which I wouldn't be too wary on taking because it actually looks like a pretty good setup, but the volatility would have to be high though. The volatility is currently 13.3 right now. So you guys can see whenever it's below 15, it's pretty much a sideways market. And it looks like it is a sideways market right here. It's getting more and more clear that it's just going to keep going sideways between this area here. Yeah. So, I mean, if Kip has an idea, I think Kip is like one of the people that I would probably listen to because he's on the top leaderboard of TFF every single month. So he's actually one of the top people getting paid out on the TFF leaderboard, like pretty much every single month. So he knows what he's doing. And if he has an idea, it's probably going to be pretty solid. So like, for example, right here, again, there might be another setup. The only problem is that there's news right here at 7 o'clock. So I'm not looking to take any trades here. It's low impact news, but regardless of the fact, I'm probably not going to look to take any entries right here, right now, specifically. So no V3 here because there was no red candle after it. The V3 to the top might be a decent buy though. Yeah, I think Rashida is looking for the buy. She said if we get a V3 continuation for that would be golden. Yeah, because I think that's the case. If you get a V3 variation for a buy here, I think it's going to push up to opening price. That's typically going to be the target area for it. But just a heads up, guys, like from my experience, I think the V3s that come up after 7:30 are usually not going to play out. Because I've seen a lot of fake outs not to say that they never play out, but the only times I ever see the V3 continuation lose is after 7:30. So just keep that in mind. If you want to take lower risk for those trades, possibly take a lower risk or maybe even wait for a pullback. The only thing is that there's news right here. So I think that's the trickiest part because when the news comes out, this can really push price, in either direction. So you might get faked out, like you might get a buy signal and then news comes up and then it'll continue pushing up just because of news and then it'll fake out back down. So yeah, I think the news is probably going to be the worst part about this opportunity here if it comes up. So 2 different things you can look for here, like 2 green candles following the sell signal for a momentum counter scalp continuation. There goes the buy signal, Rashida. It's gonna happen right at news too. It's pending. So, all right, I'm gonna wait for news to pass. As I wait here, I'm gonna go ahead and start marking up or I'm gonna start taking screenshots of my profits. So my first funded engineer. Yeah, Jonathan said one and done for me with the V3 earlier in the session. Yeah, I think the V3 variation works really well like early in the session because the volatility is so high. As you get closer to the middle of the session, you can see the volatility dies down and it's a lot harder to catch and identify. That's more team profits here. We got Johnny with a total profit of 4,200 for the day. Nice work, Johnny. Nice recovery off this trade earlier this morning too. Solid work right there. All right, so there goes a buy signal that pretty much looking for. It's right on the news candle, so not exactly something that I'd recommend taking, but we'll follow it. Yeah, exactly. Maddie said, damn, this year is almost over. It's really about to be 2024. Yeah, it's crazy, right? This year, like, literally flew by for us. I mean, it's been a great year. I think this has probably been one of my, I'm not sure it's my most profitable year, but it's been pretty good. Like, it's up there. I think COVID was probably around one of my most profitable years because it was so easy to profit there and we were taking so many big positions. Actually, now that I think of it, this might be my most profitable year because I have more accounts that I'm trading. Back then, it was just FTMO. So, yeah, possibly. I wonder what happened with MFF. If MFF ever like got situated, I never got any updates from them. Let's see. Cal was asking if I'm planning on taking this B3. Probably not because it's like right after news right here. I mean, if you want to take a camo, I think it's a pretty if it closes like for sure green, no, never mind. So as I was saying that, I was like, if it closes for sure green, I can't even tell what candle that is right there. But if it closed like up here, like is a pretty obvious green candle, then possibly. But gotcha. Okay, yeah. Camo said it's red. Yeah, the only time I would take it is if it's like super obvious, right? Um, right here, it obviously wasn't obvious. This would have been a good entry though if it would have closed green, because there's so much space between here and opening price. Oh, nice. Rashida actually got in early because of the double body. So she got in. Hopefully, yeah, I'm pretty sure you got out already because if you got in earlier, it should have hit your 100 pips already. Nice. Yeah, so Rashida got in and out super quick. Sometimes you just got to go with your intuition. You don't have to follow the strategies to the T. It's recommended to follow them to the T, but if you have some sort of intuition and you think, okay, this is going to play out, then, by all means, take the trade. You guys got to remember, you're in control of your account. So, I'll guide you guys through like the direction you guys should be going. But if you guys feel really good about a position, just take it. Most of the time, you guys are going to be right about it. So nice work, Rashida, on catching that there. Yeah, I'll never fault somebody for taking a good trade. Like, I don't know everything in the market. So if you see something that looks good, don't be scared to take it. But if you lose the trade, you got to understand that that wasn't my fault. Because it's funny, like people look for something to blame, but it's always going to be up to you. All right, let's see. So Maria said momentum pullback scalp. Let me check real quick. I think it's too far, but it's too the ATR is too low right now, and then also price hasn't pushed far enough to get past the because the entry would have to happen down here. It'd be below the momentum signal, so it's just a little too slow right now, Maria. I wouldn't take it. The thing with these pullback entries is that you want the trade to be really fast because you want it to push up, pull back, and go straight to your TP. The problem with this here is that if it does fail, it's probably gonna go sideways for a bit. It's probably gonna go back and forth before it ends up, finally going in that direction. So, yeah, unfortunately, no momentum pullback scalp there. I just about finished taking screenshots of my profits, so I will post my profits up real quick over here. And we'll continue looking for any possible entries. All right, so here are my profits so far for the day. So we've got, this is my first account, my funded engineer. I locked in 507. I just took one trade for the day, that partial. So funded engineer 1. Here is my FTMO locked in 2010. Here is my FTMO number 2 locked in 2520. This is my main account with the green strip. Pretty much where I take all my trades. Here's my third FTMO total profit of 2,520 as well. Here is my second funded engineer account, total profit of 397. Here is my personal account locked in 510. Here is my TFF locked in 1,300. And my second TFF, same thing, locked in 1,300. So those are all my profits for the day so far. I'll continue looking for some entries here, but again, as I mentioned, volatility kind of dies down around past 7:30. So I typically don't really like taking entries here. You can see the ATR is currently 11. It's living up to the hype where I mentioned. It's typically like this is pretty much normal at this point. I've noticed it every single day. There's just not much volatility here or anything for us to really take. So yeah, Rashida said if we get the same setup here, she's taking it for a continuation. No, may just go and hit open. Yeah, it might even just push straight up and go to open. But yeah, if we get that setup again, Rashida, I think that could probably play through. Look for that sell signal, look for the fake out, and then look for the continuation, right? But it's pretty much just ranging. You can see over here where the range is at. It's ranging around that resistance. So there's probably a lower level here now. Not yet. Yeah, so there's higher lows right here. Price is pretty much just ranging back and forth between these areas. I mean, if I wanted to draw structure here, I could, but I'm not going to because there's no point. But realistically, yeah, that's the range right there. We get a lower low, I'll mark up the zone right now. I'll just leave it as is. I don't really need to put these 1 minute levels because you already know where they're at. But yeah, the volatility today was actually really slow. You can see liquidity here didn't even get touched. It was nowhere near liquidity. So there's no liquidity here that was even remotely near. We had this big push initially on open and then it just went sideways pretty much the rest of the day. Sideways right here for like about 30 minutes, pushed up sideways over here again for another 20 minutes. And I wouldn't be surprised if it just keeps going sideways for the next however long, right? If anything, we might get a push to the upside to open. So this might happen sideways, push to open, and then sideways again. It's the same thing that happened right here. Sideways, fake out down to the bottom, correction back up, and then back to a sideways market. So yeah, not really anything here to, there's just nothing there specific that you really be looking for. aside from like what Rashida's looking for, the continuation. So we'll probably create, I'll probably create a whole continuation series. There'll be like a continuation for the V3 breakout, and then another continuation for the momentum counter scalp that Kip's been using, because it works very well from what I've seen. Obviously, it needs to be tested, but it looks pretty well for the most part. Like for example, over here we have a green buy signal. There's no 2 red candles yet, so if you see those 2 red candles, it might be a push to the downside. But again, it would have to happen during like market conditions where the market's actually moving. Like I wouldn't take it over here, obviously, because this is pre-market, it's all slow. The market would have to actually be moving. Yeah, Rashida said it also keeps rejecting off the yellow pivot. Your pivots might be different colors, but yeah, your yellow is probably my my blue. Yeah, I think it's blue. I changed the color because it was too light. Or I think someone asked me to change the color and I just changed it to blue. But all right, so we got this right here. This is a nice little retracement that we were looking for. Again, it's 740, so there's not really much here to look at. If you guys have more profits to post up, feel free to send them in. Otherwise, if we don't get anything here soon within like say the next 5 or 10 minutes, then we'll probably wrap this up a little early. The reason why I do that is because I don't want you guys to be forcing trades when price is not really going anywhere, or if there's a lot of uncertainty in the market. So we got that pending sell signal, never closed. Yeah, this is another sign too. If you guys ever see momentum signals and they don't close and you keep getting these fake outs, it's a sign that there's just there's not really much of a confirmation of directional momentum. Because typically when you guys see these momentum signals, they usually just close right away, right? They usually close on the first time they show up. But you'll see over here, like there's sell signals and buy signals which have came up, and they keep just pending for like 10, 20 minutes. And then finally they close and then they fake out. Like for example, this one right here, the sell signal was coming up from like way over here. They just kept coming up, and it finally closed. And then it kind of came down slightly and it faked out right back up. Another fake out right here, another fake out right here. And this was the actual direction it was aiming for, right? So, there's these little things that we see in the market, and we start to see it by looking at the charts more often. Because, the more and more that you guys look at the charts, the more and more that you guys will see. That's the nature of it. It's like, you continuously look at something, you're going to see patterns regardless. And I think having these indicators here help you see the patterns a lot easier, because you're not just looking at candle patterns, you're looking at momentum patterns, and stuff like that. So let's see if there's anything else over here. Hey, what's up, Albert? Welcome back. Yeah, Albert said just signed up last year, but took a break. What strats are you typically taking now so I can refresh, or are you focusing on all of them? So there's a lot of strategies that you can choose from, Albert. They all work very, very well. We're actually pulling back to like a lot of our older strategies that we used to apply maybe around your time. So we are looking at breakouts. We're applying something that we consider a breakout V3. It's similar to the original breakout, but it's actually a lot easier to see. There's a lot less guessing work. What I'd probably recommend you do is review the mentoring session from yesterday. We had a mentoring session yesterday. Just go to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Kodi Kai Trades. Go over to the mentoring session from yesterday, December 6th. And it was a pretty good mentoring session. It went on for about 2 hours. We covered a lot of the stuff that we're using now. But yeah, the strategies that you'll probably see me apply here, currently used strategies on live session. So first one's going to be breakout V3. Use breakout V1 and V2 as confluences. The next one would be high-low scalp. This is like the original high-low scalp that we typically did a while back. I mean, it still works. A lot of the older strategies still work very well. Third would be a high-low scalp. V2, it's very similar, but you kind of look for a fake out. So if you want to review the mentoring session, I'll probably cover it. I'm going to be making a lot of the new videos covering a lot of this new stuff. It's not really new. It's kind of just small variations to what we're already doing. For step 4, or the fourth one would be momentum pullback scalp. Again, they're just like little variations to stuff that we've already been using. They're just different entry times and entry points. And I think the only other one that we typically look at would be V1 variations. So yeah, I mean, these are pretty much the strategies that we typically use here on the live session. I don't know if I missed anything, but for the most part, that's usually what we're looking for. The breakout V3s, which happens. So the breakout V3s and breakout V3 continuation. This stuff was covered in the mentoring session. Breakout V3s, basically, we're looking for a momentum signal and a following candle after it. So like, something like this right here, sell signal and a red candle after it. This would be the breakout V3. Super simple, super straightforward. And that's kind of what we're looking at. Once you look at them, they're not very difficult because you've been around before, so you're familiar with the older stuff. They're just different variations. So if you remember the original breakout, you're just looking for a momentum signal with a strong candle, right? So this would be the original breakout, this big candle right here. The breakout V3 would be this next candle right here because you have a original momentum signal here followed with a red candle. The breakout V2 is the same thing. You're looking for this, but you're looking for a deeper confirmation. You're looking for 2 red candles. So you can see there's 3 entries all off this one area right here. They're all breakouts. They're just different entry times. And same with the high-low scalp. You're just looking for breaking structure past like certain structures, and you're looking for a direction of bias. But yeah, if you want to review these strategies, what I'd probably recommend, if you do have time, Albert, it's probably the easiest way to do it is just review the previous live sessions, because we do the same thing every single day, and it's just repetition, right? It's the same thing happening every single day. And if you see changes, the changes happen very, like there's a long period before, within time before I change anything that we're doing during these live sessions. So yeah, or if you just continue to watch the current live sessions, you'll get up to speed pretty quick. Because we've been doing the same thing for, I think, about a couple of weeks now. Things might change, a month from now, because the market's changing. Like right now, we're currently in December. Next month is January. We're going to have a lot of volatility, so things might change slightly. Or just we just make adjustments when necessary. All right, Maddie. So Maddie's done for the day. I'll see you back here tomorrow, Maddie. If there's any other questions, guys, feel free to put them in the chat. It's 7:47 right now. As you guys can see, the ATR is super low. It's still at 11 points. And there's not really too much going on here. So, at this point, we might just get some more sideways movement. So it's going back to the clean chart over here. Price is still within the same range that we were marking up earlier. So it's still within the same range. You got a little fake out right here. Now it's pulling back into the upper range here. So, all right, let me see if there's anything else that I'm missing. I think we've covered pretty much mostly everything here. We have Barack over here with a total profit of 8,624 for the day. All wins here. Nice work, Barack. And I think that's about it. All right. So, all right, guys, if you guys have any other questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't recommend trading anymore, guys. There's no reason to trade right now specifically because the volatility is so low. And you're probably going to get a sideways movement from, here until the next couple hours or so. Kenny said it's been bouncing off Monday's open all day, 36,114. Yeah, no, I can see that because if you look at it from a bigger picture, I could kind of see that price has actually been ranging throughout the whole week. We had that big, direction push on Monday. And then same on Tuesday, and then now it's kind of just bouncing between those areas until NFP tomorrow. So yeah, no, I agree with you too, Kenny. It's probably, I wouldn't be surprised if it was doing that. And now that you mentioned it, it made sense. So, all right, guys, that's it for the day. I showed all my profits. I showed everybody else's profits. If you guys have more profits, feel free to post them up. Otherwise, I'll see you guys back here tomorrow for NFP.